And that's the key, is it's supporting a changed conversation because it's fundamentally and authentically about the client.
Hey, welcome back. I've got Dean Kelly with me again. Hello, Dean.
Hello, John.
Hey, Dean, last time we had some great discussions about change up the conversation in a sales meeting, right? And you talked about the philosophy behind that and how you do it. And you mentioned that you use visuals.
Yes.
As one of the open-ended questions and visuals. I want to explore a little bit more about what those visuals really mean. Tell me about the sorts of visuals you recommend.
So the old adage, a picture's worth 1,000 words, comes true in most sales meetings. So rather than us selling as telling to the client and using 1,000 slides or a brochure or anything, to me the visuals are a critical part of helping us ask better questions. Why? Number one, visuals don't have to be presented. The client will read them faster than you can say it. So immediately I can be into an introduction for the page or the picture, and then as soon as that I can ask a question and basically have the first serve to the client.
So you're talking visuals that are graphic or...
Yep, as much as possible.
Yeah, it could be an infographic or it could whatever.
It comes down to personal preference. I'm trying to push the boundaries on this, and I'm limited by my presentation skills and PowerPoints at the moment, so I'm looking at alternate ways of doing this. So anything goes as long as it supports the conversation. What I have found is if marketing get hold of them, that can be good. It can also look far too marketing, and therefore the client goes, oh, this is just a pitch you're doing to me slightly different.
Okay, yeah, and you were saying earlier, this is not product related or anything else. This is talking about megatrends in the customer's industry or whatever.
Absolutely. So I have two key visuals that I would use. Number one, I call megatrends, which is higher than this one organisation I'm talking to. These are issues affecting the industry as a whole. So could be cloud, it could be security, could be changing the way customers behave, consumers behave, mobile devices, whatever it happens to be that's pertinent in talking to your client about the challenges or the opportunities that they are being faced with as an organisation.
Okay.
So that's number one, and that's a good starting point. So in a first meeting, having something ready to go, which aligns with where the conversation would ideally go for you, that's always a handy one to have just in your pad or on your laptop ready to go. So that's number one. The second visual that I would often move to soon after that conversation's going and the client's involved in it, again, it's changing the conversation, we're asking, not telling, so I need the client involved, is getting to what we call a value map, or a map of where the value might be for the client.
So if they implemented a change in their business along the lines of where the megatrend discussion went, what the value's likely to be for them of that sort of change?
Some of that, yes. It's also to do with helping them understand. So the megatrends is higher than their organisation. It's more general to the industry that they're in. The value map is now demonstrates that you've done some research about that client in particular. What are some of the critical business imperatives or initiatives they are pursuing as an organisation, and what some of the priorities or criteria they need to balance or juggle in order to deliver those outcomes.
Right.
So it's far more, it's far deeper into where the problem space is most likely to be for the client.
Within that specific client?
Yes.
Okay, and that could ultimately, or should, you use the word value, so I assume that's going to be looking at therefore how that in areas that are likely to improve value in the business, create value in the business.
Areas, it leads to a conversation where you can start uncovering how they would measure value in that particular area. It's also the interplay between different stakeholders within an organisation. So there's value maybe to IT, there's also value to IT's internal customers, which may be another business unit, and then obviously there's value to their end customer or consumer as well. So it's looking at value from all those different perspectives.
I remember you and I some time ago had a discussion about sales is like a poker game, and you really need to get the customer to put the value on the table.
Absolutely.
Their perception of the value on the table rather than you put it on the table. That's what they bid in the poker game. So that's really what you're talking about.
And these are the tools to support that.
Okay, I understand. So bottom line in this discussion is there's two types of graphical images that you use. One is the megatrends that starts a discussion and helps in that conversation, and then you drill down to what you call the value map, which are specific issues and challenges that the customer is likely to have based on the research you've done, and that drives that conversation down a certain path.
Absolutely, and both of them are designed to help us as salespeople ask better questions. And that's the key, is it's supporting a changed conversation because it's fundamentally and authentically about the client.
Instead of having a script.
Correct.
Okay, I understand that. Really good advice. I think there'd be a lot of value out there. Hey, send when you see this written up in the article I put together, write the questions to Dean. I'll have Dean answer them. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions on this. I see a lot of value.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dean.
Thank you very much.